Okay, we should be live.
Awesome.
Awesome. Yes. Hello, everybody. I am Sandy.
Oh, I'm sorry that got duplicated like that. I thought I was muting, and in fact, I was unmuting. Hello.
And this is Chloe, and we're WordStitch. Hello. We're a little stressed because I've been talking about taxes and politics, and we can't do that anymore. We're gonna have to come up with some other topic for this. Chloe,
I feel like everything about that was a bad conversation, and we didn't even talk about like stuff we should have been talking about backstage, but that's okay.
No, we should, but let's talk now about like something happy. Unicorns.
I mean, I do like unicorns.
Or amusement parks.
I like unicorns, but like I used to have a so I know I've mentioned this a few times, but for anybody new who has not heard this before, I am a cake decorator. And if you look up Publix unicorn cake, we've got a bunch of like we have a bunch of designs now that are real nice. But then if you go back a few years, like I just Googled it and it was the 10th thing showing. We used to have this unicorn design where the unicorn clearly was capable of kicking your ass. That we had to like hand draw on cakes because it was before we had a kit for it. So I love unicorns, but also sometimes I think about that and it haunts me.
It's not even a happy subject for you?
No, it's this creepy. Oh, I can't even. Oh wow, there's just like a whole blog of Publix cakes that I didn't know about. But anyways, yeah, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked already, as is my way.
It's all right. It's all right.
Yeah.
You're trying to distract me from stressful subjects so that we can all focus.
By like talking about the unicorn that's about to fuck you up. Anyways, I am but Chloe Alice Balkin, and I am a paranormal romance author.
Oh, we're doing introductions.
Yeah, we should do actual introductions now that we've gotten the we're gonna mess everything up.
I am Sandy Vasher, and I write teen stuff and romance stuff. And probably the more important thing to know about us is that we're really strict about our time schedule. So we are going to start writing at 5:05. We do these specifically to make ourselves productive. We hope you're productive with us and that you like tolerate our rambling during breaks. But we're going to be doing 4 of these word sprints. So our first one's going to be a 10-minute in like 4 minutes. Chloe, do you have a timer up for us?
I mean, I could.
You could. Maybe you should do that.
We got real sidetracked today. Sandy, what are you working on today?
Okay, so the Lizzie Dupree story, the like little novella that's been killing me for 3 months, I am finally making like progress on it, massive progress. And I think I'm going to finish that this week. So that's what I'm working on. Excellent. What about you?
I have no idea. I was going to, so I'm on a little break from the demon story because I just finished a round of editing. So I'm letting it breathe for a minute. I was planning on picking up my shifter story, which is the 4th one in that series. But I've gone on a path that's taken me dangerously close to being identical to the 2nd book in the series.
What just happened there? And we just lost Chloe. I'm not sure why we just lost her, but I'm thinking probably something. Oh, there she is again. Chloe, are you back? I don't know what happened either. We lost you.
It was a weird little, it just said, oh, something went wrong. Yeah. So anyways, I've got these 2 stories have gotten like the romantic climax of the stories have become extremely similar. So I don't know if I need to change that or just let it ride. So I don't know what I'm working on right now because I don't know where to go with that. But it is 5 after. And I did. Oh, no, that's not what I want. I was in the middle of pulling up that timer when it crashed. So there is my timer.
Oh, and I've got a word prompt, you guys. I'm on this. Wait, there's let's do Chloe's screen. Okay. Oh, there's our word prompt. Okay.
We're gonna go nuts today.
Yeah. So thank you for joining us. We'll say, hello again in 10 minutes, but let's start being productive.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get our hello right next time. In 10 minutes. We'll see you guys then.
And we are back.
Hello for a second time. Hopefully better.
I did have some time to calm down there. It was
good.
Yeah, our blood pressure is a little bit back down. And I'm glad I didn't cause anybody else any problems. I do appreciate the support. Yes, taxes are taxing.
Very much so.
So much so. So yes. Chloe, how'd you do?
So I was productive in a different way, and I finally got my Google Play author account set up so I can actually get my couple of wide books on Google Play. Because as of right now, the ones that are wide are only on the places available through Smashwords.
Yeah, that's what. So, okay, so have you not done draft to digital ever?
I cannot do draft to digital.
Why not?
Because I write erotic fiction.
Oh, okay. Just to clarify there.
Draft to digital does not, I cannot not think of the right word. It doesn't distinguish a difference between erotic romance and erotica. So they won't, and so basically to any platform that will not publish erotica, they will also not publish erotic romance, even if that platform does technically publish erotic romance. But it automatically tags it as erotica.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, how does it know? Are they like,
because you have to say what it is, and you can't just say romance when it's erotic romance.
You can't just say like paranormal romance or historic romance. Like you have to tag it. And are we sure that your stuff qualifies as erotica?
I mean, I'm talking about Talia and Magical Cave of Glowing Wonder. Talia may not. I mean, Talia is an erotic fairy tale. Like, you can't get around that. And Magical Cave of Glowing Wonder.
Yeah, we don't have to. That's fine.
It's a vagina. So,
yeah.
Yeah. How did everybody at home do?
I mean, who's not having to deal with this kind of stuff, right? Like, it looks like we have some people editing chapters. What else did we get done?
That's all we have so far.
I was fairly productive. So the Lizzie Dupree story, like I wrote all this stuff. You are weirdly fuzzy right now.
Yeah, and my camera is doing that thing again where it thinks its focus is right there. I don't know why it assumes that something is right there. My camera is more, and now it's focused again.
Okay, so I will go on then. So
yeah.
Dupree story.
I have no control over this.
No,
except apparently waving my hand in front of it.
It's fine. No, we hope that if you're joining us, that you use these times to, like you're welcome to listen to us, but you're also welcome to do things like go take a break and stretch.
Yeah.
So for me, the Lizzie Dupree story, I'd written like so much of it before, but it like just didn't come together. So now, I don't know, something clicked for me. Like I had like an epiphany that I just needed to, it was a tone epiphany. Like the story just came into the right voice. And so now I'm going back and like reading stuff that I've already written. And it turns out that a lot of the stuff that I've already done is stuff that I can reuse. But it is totally like something that would be your nightmare, Chloe, because like I'm like Frankensteining together a story basically, and it is. I'm very glad I'm making progress, but this is not the right way to write. I'm gonna try real hard not to make this happen again.
I've done it before. It's hard. I don't like Frankensteining stories together.
Yeah, no, it's
I have continuity issues. Like I'm really anal about continuity, and so like I don't know. I feel like anytime I have to Frankenstein stories together, I just end up wasting so much time just getting the continuity right. Like, is this what their haircut is supposed to be in this scene? I don't remember now.
Yeah, it is.
When did they get that haircut?
it's a massive amount of rereading. So let's see. So what else are people doing? So there's painting. Haley's always doing the most interesting stuff.
Yes.
She's painting and avoiding actual writing. Oh, because she's got timeline issues too. Yeah. And I'm gonna agree with Jeannie. You just have to keep plugging at it. Like I spend a lot of time when I'm doing this, like sort of like copy paste paper mache story making. I feel like I spend a lot of time listening to stuff that I've already written. Because like there's only so many times you can read your own stuff, right? So I'll put things into a text to speech reader and I'll like listen until I get to the point where I'm like, oh, I know what needs to be done. And then I can like do more copying and pasting and then more listening and then more copying and pasting. And it's hell, but it does actually happen eventually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Chloe, then are you going to be working on any stories this time then?
I don't know. So again, I'm just now going on to Google Play, which I should have done months ago, but here we are. And I've gotten like all of my banking and all of that stuff worked out on it. And I'm just now at the submit a new book. And I'm waiting for the point where they're like, okay, this is what you need to make sure is happening in the file that you're sending us. And I was expecting to have gotten to that point by now, but I have no idea if what I have right now is compliant. I mean, format wise, not content wise, because Google Play is filled with smut. So I'm not worried about that. But
so there is a online thing where you can like check the validity of your EPUBs. I will try to find that link.
Yes. But I'm more talking about like if you've ever used Smashwords. Smashwords is very, very particular about your formatting. This isn't your program or your coding. This is the actual like making sure that there aren't extra spaces and making sure that you're consistent in your formatting of it and stuff like that.
So, but are we still talking about an EPUB then, or are we talking about like a paperback file?
Yes, but like you have to have your table of contents set up a certain way. Your back matter needs to be set up a certain way. Like this is beyond whether the file is valid or not. And I don't know because I haven't done Google Play before. I don't know what the requirements are. Smashwords, if you've got like back matter that has links to Amazon, you get kicked off of Smashwords. So
I did Google Play and I don't think they checked anything. Like I'm pretty sure there's 0. And then I took my stuff off of Google Play because I was getting nothing from it and I wanted to do Kindle Unlimited. But I think it's significantly less crazy than Google. That is my dog going crazy. So I'm going to mute.
Go take care of your dog.
Yeah. And I'm going to let you do the timer so that we can start our next word prompt.
Yes. Go for it. Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted by Jeannie's comment. I believe, yes, Jeannie. I've only submitted 2 things to them, and I did it at the same time. So it was really complicated for me on that end but I was like so overwhelmed by their like book of everything that you had to do. And I just kind of read through it and did what they said. And I've completely blacked it all out now. Because that is who I am as a person. I just black out information until I need it again. Yeah, so let's ignore all that timer stuff that's going on. Let's get this. Oh yeah, it's perfect time now. Okay, so our next sprint is going to be for 25 minutes. And we will see you then.
Okay, so we are back, or at least I am back. We lost Chloe there to a reboot. So Chloe and I just found StreamYard thanks to AuthorTubers, like I don't know, a month ago in January. We are extremely thankful for it at times like this when previously, if something like this had happened, we'd have had to have probably like shut down the program or something, or we've had like things go totally black. But right now, you get me for just a few minutes. So hopefully you did well. Let me get down our word prompt here. We're going to start again at 6 o'clock. For me, that was like semi-productive because I have a crazy dog who's been barking all afternoon, and we had to deal with that. But there has been some productivity. So I am dealing with an interesting problem that some of you may or may not have dealt with. I have too much science in my story. So I'm writing sci-fi fantasy. It's a novella that's supposed to like predate a fantasy novella set in a future world. And I am not knowledgeable enough to write what I'm trying to write. So like over the last couple of weeks, I have been seriously researching different space disasters that could occur to like strand an astronaut on an outer space journey. And it turns out that there's like some actual physics to that I have been having to learn. And the movies do not teach you as well as you would think. So like that Gravity movie, so not helpful if you're trying to get rid of a character by like shooting them off of a spaceship in outer space on a journey. Like apparently that's totally not realistic. Also, Ad Astra with Brad Pitt, equally pointless. I enjoyed both movies, but I did not get the science that I want. So I've been trolling NASA's websites to try to figure out how to handle basically like an outer space disaster problem that I am not smart enough to actually write into my story. And this delays me sometimes. What are you guys working on? Definitely let us know. In the meanwhile, so while I like ramble on and Chloe reboots her computer, we posted the EPUB check link. So I should say sometimes that link works for me. Sometimes it does not. A really good way to validate an EPUB, and I mean, I don't, this is not necessarily if you're actually going to publish, but Draft to Digital is really picky about their EPUBs. So if there's like anything wrong, they'll tell you. They'll either tell you that they corrected something in the EPUB when you upload it, or they will tell you that your EPUB was just totally rejected. So if you are in the habit of creating your own EPUBs, like both Chloe and I are, and you are wanting to know if your EPUB is valid and will be able to be read on more than one, say like type of EPUB reader, you can check it out by uploading it onto that link, or you could upload it into Draft to Digital as if you were going to publish it. Sort of get to the step where they would say like, yes, this is good, or no, this is bad, and then just don't publish. Draft to Digital has, if you're not familiar with it, it's actually a really good program with a lot of nice features, even if you never publish anything there. So they have like some pretty nice EPUB conversion. They've got some like, I think some programs where you can like upload your Word document and it creates like a decently formatted paperback for you. So I've been pretty impressed with them. And I don't know what you guys do to publish your stuff, but for me, if I'm going wide, and I do not write erotica, so I am eligible for Draft to Digital. But if I'm going wide and I'm not just working on Amazon's site, I will publish my ebooks through Amazon KDP Select. I do my ebooks outside of Amazon through Draft to Digital. And then I do my paperbacks through Ingram Spark for pre-orders, and then ideally switch them back to Amazon for Amazon site only. after a pre-order period is up so that I get a better royalty rate. I think that's how that's going to work. All right, so let's see. What are we going to chat about here while I wait for my co-host to join? It's so strange to just talk to like nothing. Okay. I don't want to talk about death and taxes and politics anymore. So I will tell you the other thing that has been on my mind story-wise. Have any of you seen Frozen 2? Raise of hands, maybe. Okay, so if you saw, I mean, you couldn't not have seen Frozen, right? Like that doesn't happen. Everybody here saw Frozen, presumably, but you might not have seen Frozen 2. And I have been obsessing over it a little over the last week, partially because my husband is not home right now. So I finally had the freedom to like rent a Disney movie and watch it once or twice without him in the evening times. And I find it to be a really interesting sequel from like a writer perspective, because if you think about what they were doing when they wrote Frozen 2, like those writers were up against huge odds. Like they'd created something incredibly amazing and then had to like follow it up with something equally amazing. But they'd gotten a lot of criticism for things that like they hadn't thought to address in the first Frozen. So like, for example, the initial Frozen movie is basically all like whitewashed, right? Like it's like what is it? I think it's a Norwegian town or something like that. So all the characters are like very pale. But it's a Disney movie. It's a fairy tale. So Frozen got some criticism over that. And in Frozen 2, the Disney writers were under a lot of pressure to figure out how to make it so that their cast was more diverse. But as a result, they have a diverse cast. And it's a little bit like, whoa, wait a second. Like, where did this diverse cast come from? Likewise, Frozen 2 deals with like a lot of sort of weird cultural issues or like complex cultural issues. So there's a whole like cultural appropriation thing to the plot, which is really complex for adults to understand, much less children. And that is what they sort of like use as the entire plot. But in Frozen 1, you never even know that there's like another people who are being culturally appropriated. So it's a very interesting thing. And I'm wondering if anybody but me has this issue. Like, what do you do when you've written something that you think is actually pretty good to begin with, and then you're trying to follow it up with a sequel? How do you live up to your first work? Do you worry about responding to criticisms? Do you sort of like just keep going? What's the thing you do? Oh, and I think we may have Chloe joining us. Chloe, is that you? Let me see if I can put you in here.
Hey,
yes.
Level for a minute.
I'm talking about cultural appropriation in Frozen 2.
Oh, weird, but okay.
I've been a little obsessing over it. Like I've been watching this. Have you seen it? Have you seen Frozen 2?
No, I haven't seen Frozen 1.
What?
I mean, I tried and it didn't work. That's it.
I don't know what to do with that. I
didn't like it. Did not like it. Was very unhappy with it.
So that's basically my ability to talk about that. But luckily we are at 6:00 and the good people watching us no longer have to deal with this. So
I might be able to get a timer up.
If you can't, I think I have a timer also, but let me know.
Just give me a second for it to load, and it should.
Sure. You're a pineapple right now, by the way.
I am. That glitch did not fix itself. I don't know what to do right now. So I'm gonna fuss a little bit more and try to fix this manually during this break.
Okay. Do you want me to do the timer? Would that be better?
My timer for some reason is not loading either. Everything is just like falling apart on me, and I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna put my timer up there then. So we
Perfect.
will share my screen. It's a little clumsier this way, but a bad sequel is my word prompt for you. And you will be back in half an hour, hopefully with our technological problems corrected.
Yeah. Oh, Lord, my computer's trying to load.
Okay. Yay. Chloe is back.
I'm back for realsies this time.
That's good because I went off on like a weird tangent about terrible. I don't know. I have been very much obsessing over this issue, and I totally forgot that you've never even watched the movie, have you?
Yeah, I've never seen Frozen 2, and like I was in a room where Frozen was playing, and it did not keep my attention.
Well, then the second one would have been even worse for you. It was
Yeah, that is what I have heard. Yeah.
It's weird. Like I watched it in a theater, and then I like walked out feeling stunned. Like, how could they have done this to my Frozen? Because I loved Frozen. And then this week I actually bought the video again on the grounds that like it couldn't possibly have been that bad. And
but actually it was.
Well, you know, it's funny. Like I watched it again, and so on the second time I liked it more. And like the more I think about the story, the more I like it. But it's a really complicated story for like something that's targeted at 8-year-olds. And and it's got a lot of like progressive messaging, if that makes sense. Like I think there's a whole 80s rock song that the not Prince Christoph gets to sing. And the first time I heard it, I was like, oh, that was bad. And then the second time I was like, well, actually, it's kind of awesome that they gave him his own song and made it about feelings. And like, it's that kind of thing, right? Like right. You don't realize it's going to be okay. And the first time you see it, you're like, what the? And then the second time you're like, oh, I see what they were trying to do here. And this is a concern that I have about all of my sequels. I'm not even kidding. I am constantly thinking to myself, oh, what am I doing that's going to overcomplicate this? Because I am trying too hard to fix something that somebody said was wrong in the first one, when I should just go on and write the story that I love on the ground that there were people who actually liked the first thing. And why am I trying to please critics?
Yeah.
But that was my rant. So how's your computer doing?
Better. It was this weird thing where like menus got stuck in a scrolling mode. Web pages were not scrolling and documents were not scrolling, but all of my menus, spreadsheets were automatically scrolling to the right.
Oh.
And then like this also turned into some menus wouldn't open because they would glitch out because of the scrolling, and that included my start menu. So my like obvious repair of going to settings and finagling things that way didn't work out. I did ultimately get to the settings, and where it was really weird, and obviously turning it off and back on again did not work because that was my first attempt. But yeah, I tried turning off my mouse. I have a Bluetooth mouse attached to a laptop. So I tried turning off the mouse. That did nothing. And I tried disabling the touchpad, and that did nothing. And that was when I panicked and texted James and was like, I might need you to fix my computer. But then before you even had a chance to text me back, I removed the USB plug for the mouse.
Yeah.
And that worked. And then when I plugged it back in, it still worked. So I don't know how that fixed it, but my computer is happy again, and that's all that matters.
Weird glitchy stuff. Totally weird glitchy stuff.
And I compiled an Easter demon for Eloise. That was the progress that I made, because I tried to start like 4 different things and none of them worked out.
Well, at least you got one thing done.
I got one thing done. I messed it up the first time, though, and I had to do it twice.
I had struggles over this last time, because the other thing I rambled about that's bothering me right now So I over-scienced my sequel. Like, in this story, I'm trying to get rid of a character, kind of, by like sending him off into outer space without a tether. So like Gravity style or Ad Astra.
You're not talking about the sequel to your main series.
No.
You're talking about your second novella.
Right. And okay. It's like they're like little vignettes, right? But they're sci-fi-y. So and this one takes place in space. And I dumbly thought that it would be interesting to like stage a little love triangle rescue mission in space that I am not smart enough to write. Like I can write the feelings, but I cannot write the science. And I've been trying to research it. I've been like on the NASA website. I've been like trying to figure out like what I know all these things about jet propulsion systems that I didn't know before, but I don't know how to kill off a character easily. And it's been
okay, so is your problem that you're having issues killing off the character, or is your issue with the science?
It's the science. It's because I keep trying to like kill him, and then I'll be like, oh shoot, they could probably have gotten around it this one way. Like, so you know what I'm saying? Like I keep coming up with ways to fix it, and then
this is kind of a good use for one of the big writing forums, like
really?
NaNoWriMo.
Oh no way! No.
Because
you do that.
Well, so what you can do is go to the Nano website. On their forums, there is a like, how do you do this thing sub forum. That there's an actual name that will totally make sense when you see it. It's like ask an expert or something like that. But if you pose this question and then just kind of gracefully bow out, you'll have a bunch of people try to answer it, and then they'll like fight with each other about what's the correct answer, and you'll probably be able to get like them to do the work for you.
Yeah, but I might be so confused by the time it's done.
Right, but I feel like because of them trying to explain it, they'll dumb it down enough that you won't actually have that issue. Like you'll get some jackhole explaining like Kepler's laws of motions, and you can ignore all that, but like at the end of the day, you'll probably get a reasonable, like this is a way to do it. It won't hurt to try it. If this is a
no.
Worst case scenario is it does not work.
This could totally hurt. This is exposing a plot line to groupthink. That is a terrible choice for somebody who obsesses over stuff. Like I mean, yeah, sure. If I were like normal and capable of just like, you know, taking the advice and learning from it, sure. But almost certainly I will be offended, hurt, disappointed, saddened. I'll think that my entire plot needs to be changed. I'll feel the need to like answer any question. Suddenly I'll question everything. Like, I don't know. I think maybe I just need to create like a fictional problem. Yeah. Space is different. This is miles away.
I like Jeannie's solution of just jettison him into space.
That's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to untether somebody and fling them off into outer space. That's all I want.
There are so many easy ways of doing that if you're already in space, but you don't take them.
But there's not, right? Because if you send somebody out into space, but they're on like 1,000, year journey, presumably their ship's pretty damn good, right? Like probably they have some technology. Maybe they have trackers on their people or like radios or drone rovers. Or
so like you could be right.
No, this is what's right. This is the correct thing.
But the flip side is have you ever, oh God, which one was it? Was it Discovery? Was it Columbia? I believe it was, oh God, one of the space shuttles that exploded. It was Columbia. Have you ever like researched how that shitstorm went down?
Yeah. It was all these O-rings. There was like a massive weather disaster. Like it was because of groupthink, because a bunch of people tried to solve a problem together, and they were.
Wait, am I thinking of the wrong one?
I don't think so. I mean,
I'm thinking of the one where like a huge chunk of the space shuttle fell off, and they were like, "No, this is totally fine." Is that the one that you're thinking of?
So the Challenger explosion is the one that I'm thinking of.
Oh no, Challenger is the one that exploded at launch, right?
Maybe shortly thereafter.
No, I am getting them backwards. Yeah, no, Columbia was the one that exploded when it re-entered the atmosphere. Challenger was the one that exploded at launch.
But the ship that I'm in is like literally billions of miles away from Earth.
No. I'm not saying to like compare the accidents to that, like what actually happened, but just like what happened with Columbia was the fact that there were, and I guess to a point Challenger as well, but I think it was a little bit more pronounced with Columbia that, and I'm sorry that we like went off on this random tangent. I am so sorry. This is what we do. Columbia had like all of the best people running this, and they had done this so many times before that they're like, everything is fine. And there is this piece that fell off when it was launched that they all said, oh, this is fine. We don't need to worry about this. But also because of that, information was not passed on to people that should have. So they weren't watching things that they should have been watching because of this piece. And because of it, 7 people died. And so I'm just saying that like your ship is probably like really flipping perfect, except human error fucks everything up. So like you could prepare for like 8 million things, and then there is one person who's like, oh no, this is totally fine, we're good, and they're trustworthy enough, or they're reliable, they've got a good enough record that everybody believes them, when actually they were like looking at the wrong thing or something, and then it explodes on re-entry.
All right. So
that was where I was going with that. I'm sorry that was a really roundabout way of getting there.
No, it's totally fine. I mean, I absolutely appreciate the help. Look, I mean, I think that Jeannie, who said I need to get out of my own way, that is the truth. I need to simplify it because this is not really a story about science. It's really a love triangle in outer space. So like, I need to focus on big feelings. Get away from science.
I will say that I got hung up for way too long on how reptile shifters reproduce. So
interesting.
I get it. Huh?
Interesting.
Yeah, because like, do they lay eggs? Like, I don't.
Oh,
exactly. But like, this is the real, I don't, that I don't write. Like, I don't forget things when I write. Oh, I love that. Just trip and fall and break his neck at 1/7 the gravity of Earth.
I think there are decent solutions here that can be worked on. But I think, Chloe, that with regards to reptilian shifter reproductive norms, that maybe you should definitely not ask a forum about.
No. And also, I'm just never going to have MCs that are shifters. It was literally like one of those things that I said, well, you know what? I should make sure that it's even viable for there to be shifters whose form is not, whose like animal form is not mammalian. And like, it sent me down a dark place.
And on that note, we have 10 minutes left to write.
Yeah, let's I don't know what I'm going to do in that 10 minutes, but you should be writing.
Yeah. Somebody get something done. Good luck, guys.
Please, God, do.
Okay, we are back.
Yeah.
Yes. And that was our last sprint.
It was.
Yeah, and I'm still not out of my way, but we're getting there. So, Chloe, the next time we do this, are we thinking of changing the timing?
Like going back to 4 o'clock?
Yeah, like potentially.
Yeah, potentially. We were supposed to talk about this before, and we never actually did. So here we are talking about it now.
Yeah. So, we're gonna make some decisions about that, and we'll probably post it on the AuthorTubers site, right? So I think most of the people coming here are finding us there.
Yes.
Okay. So we will be back on Monday sometime in the early
evening. In the afternoon. Yes.
Yeah.
On East Coast time.
On East Coast time. That's right. Yeah. That's right.
Because it could be anywhere. It could be morning or like middle of night where you are. But for us,
good point.
It's evening right now.
Yeah. In the meanwhile, we hope that you got some writing done, and we're going to work on our intros and exits. Actually, yeah. We're probably not. We're probably just going to work on them like in video like this.
Right. Well, I work on them by jumping into others' streams where they force me to say them, and I flounder like a.
Okay. So you can find us and follow us, and our information is all below. I think we both have ARC reader sign up stuff down there. Yeah.
We're all looking for ARC readers.
Everybody's looking for ARC readers, right?
Yeah. I don't think this could be like a real dumb statement to Devin, but I actually feel like there's no time on the moon, because doesn't the moon have like some weird rotation thing where the dark side is always the dark side, and so it's always night on one side?
I need to find this out.
I could be completely imagining that fact. And it wasn't really necessary right now, but she caught me with that question.
Apparently, lunar time zone is universal time, which is the modern form of Greenwich Mean Time. So whatever UT time is what is. Yeah, it's a whole thing.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
So that is the time zone. We have an actual time established now. So we may be here at 11 a.m. moon time or noon moon time next week.
I'm gonna have this story done by then. We're moving on. There'll be a different space problem.
Oh, I don't know. Did I get daylight savings in that? I think I was still off an hour.
Shoot. See the things that can happen when you do sci-fi.
All the things that can go horribly wrong in space.
It's why fantasy is always better. Fantasy, you create your systems. Okay, but I think that's it for us today.
Yeah, right? Let's get out of here. We don't need to keep rambling like this.
No. So enjoy your evening, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, guys.
Bye. No more science questions next week.
You say that now.